Today we will go over how to create a module in NodeConfig. A module is a definition of a set of commands to run on your target machines based on a template written in Jinja 2 with a set of parameters. In NodeConfig, we have two types of modules, block and iterated. First, let's understand the block module. A block module is a simple set of parameters passed onto a template to render commands. To simplify, let's imagine we are configuring AAA in our Cisco iOS router. These are basic commands to configure AAA. There are a few simple steps to define a module. First, identify the set of commands to be produced, as we have done here. Next, identify the variables. Variables are values that can change, or in other words, can accept multiple values. Here we have identified 3 values that can be variables. The next step is to name the variables. You can choose to name them however you like. We in NodeConfig stick to the underscore naming convention used by most Python engineers. Next, in the green box, we will see the values that will be passed into the variables. Once we have clearly identified the variables, we will construct our Jinja 2 template as shown. To help you visualize programmatically, these parameters are passed into the Jinja 2 template in this JSON object. Now let's understand iterated modules. AAA configuration is ideal for a block module because it's a static config, unlike something like an interface config per se, or an OSPF area, meaning that we can have multiple interfaces, OSPF processes, and EIGRP, autonomous systems. To begin constructing the module, we follow the simple steps. Define the commands and identify the variables. Next, we have to understand the concept of the iterator. The iterator is a name given to the list of parameters that we pass into the Jinja 2 template. For interface configuration, we will simply use interfaces as our iterator. Suppose we were defining an OSPF module. The iterator would be something like process IDs. This is how the parameters will look when supplied to the template. As we can see in this JSON object, the interface's iterator is used. But we have a problem. Our Jinja 2 template isn't rendering the parameters correctly. We have to iterate over the interfaces list. We can simply add a for loop into our Jinja 2 template and access the parameters as shown. Now, let's use the NodeConfig dashboard to create an iterated module. First, head over to the Modules page and click Create. Name your module, set the type as iterated, and specify the iterator. The creator field can simply be your name. Next, let's define the parameters, or the variables that will be supplied into our Jinja 2 template. Defining a parameter is like describing a key in a JSON object. We specify all the details of the parameter, its data type, label, and so on. Once we add the parameter, we will see that the parameters table is populated with our new key. Let's continue creating the other 3 parameters. The state of an interface can only have two values, shut or no shut. So we will hardcode our parameter to only have two options. Once we have fully specified all the parameters, we can now construct the Jinja 2 template from the previous slide. Save the module, and in the next tutorial, we will show you how to create a config and run the rendered template of commands on your target machine.